So whenever I first started training, there was always this problem of what am I supposed to do, high volume or low volume? Because people are going to tell you one thing, people are going to tell you the other thing. Originally, I trained a high volume. I would always take like my sets. I would do like the basic four sets of like 12 reps or like three sets of 15. And of course, I got tired from it because I have a lot of volume. But what I noticed is that I was really training more for endurance rather than actually training for what I intended, which was muscle growth, and also just strength. And so a lot of the times, like it looks like this, is that like I would train, I would keep it more reps, more reps. This is good. This is good. Okay, this is a good place to stop. And then I just kept going with the reps. I kept doing more reps for less weight, and then eventually it just kind of looked like this. The same thing goes for both of these ideas of high volume and low volume. So first of all, obviously high volume, you train like a lot of reps for a lot of sets. Normally it's with a lighter weight, and you can actually lift more. And then low volume is more so training to like closer to failure normally, and then you're going to be lifting heavier weights in hopes of actually stimulating the muscle so you can have more muscle growth and also more strength. So first of all, before I say anything else, if your goal is to just be pure athleticism, endurance, and also just explosiveness, then high volume training is going to be your thing. You don't need to watch the rest of this video because I'm going to be mostly talking about low volume and then cluster sets. So now we're just going to talk more so about low volume. So low volume is the same thing on the same bell curve. Is that like you do less reps, you do less reps. That's good. Less reps, less reps here is a good place to stop. You're doing less than that, it just goes down. It's a bell curve for both of these ideas of high volume and low volume. Let's say you're getting the bench press, for instance. For high volume, you're training for like a lot of sets for like multiple reps each time because you keep thinking like, okay, well this is going to help me build my muscle, but not really, because to actually gain strength, you actually have to stimulate the muscle and tell it that that hey, you need to grow, you need to start growing, or else like we're not going to be able to do this. So to actually do that, trending towards like not only just low volume, because that's not the whole point of it. It's obviously really important, but more so training to muscular failure to where you really can't lift this weight anymore. Then normally it's with heavier weights because with high volume, like whenever you're training a high volume, like lower weights, then you're not really gonna be stimulating the muscle at a certain point. I'm not saying you're not going to if you start training like this, but you're going to be making a lot less progress than if you change it up and do a different program. So let's say instead you do low volume for your bench press. You start doing like let's say what 6, 7 reps, and you just do it for like maybe 1 to 2 sets, but you do it with a heavier weight. You're going to notice that there's going to be a lot more progress in terms of actually building your muscle and actually just having more strength in general. Like next time you're going to come and you're going to be stronger. Only problem with low volume is the fact that a lot of the times, if you really want to make these progress, you have to actually train to failure. And if you're somebody who is new to fitness, this isn't going to be something that you can emulate like off the bat because you're just now actually pushing your body to its limits, and your body has a limited belief. Even though like both your mind and your body have a limited belief when you first start lifting weights, you're gonna think, "Oh, I this is all I can do," even though really you could probably do more. So it's gonna be something that's like it's also like a muscle itself. You're gonna actually start working on it more and more, and the more you train and the longer you train, the more you're gonna notice that you're gonna be able to actually push yourself to failure more often than not. So this is where cluster sets come in. You know, this is probably going to be your solution if you're a beginner slash intermediate and you're trying to train closer to failure, but that's not really something you could quite it's not really something you can quite like reach at this point in your fitness. And this is a wonderful way to actually like emulate this slowly over time. So let's say, and I don't really like doing cluster sets for bench press. We're going to do the squats this time. Let's say your max squat is 200, right? This is an arbitrary number. You don't actually have to squat 200. And let's take away 25% of that. That's about 150. I don't know why this has one. I don't know why I put down 155. It's 150. I think it's just because I use this example right here. Point is, let's say your max squat for 1 rep is 200, and but you can do 150. That's 25% of it. Let's say you can do that for five reps. If not, that you don't have to. Just figure out what's a good place where you can do like a good amount of reps, like 5 to 6, but not too much after that. What you're gonna want to try to do is you want to hit a weight. You can only do it for a couple reps, and you're gonna do it for 5 sets. So this is gonna you're gonna do, like, let's say you're squatting, you do like five reps, and if you can do a little more than that, then that's ideal. So you can actually like be able to do these for 5 sets. You're doing 150 pounds for 5 reps, and so you rest for about a minute and a half, and you go back in the sets, and in the end, it's going to be around 25 reps. What this is actually going to do is you're actually going to, because eventually you're going to be like working, and this is actually going to not it's you're going to combine the two. You're going to be training to low volume. You're also going to be doing a lot amount of sets, and eventually over time, you're going to notice that, like, because this is going to be like a really challenging workout, is that you're going to be able to not only do more weights, but you're also going to be able to do more reps in general. And what I would do is, at first, like, your last set, you're gonna feel like, and this is over time. The first one, obviously, it's gonna be a little less than this, and you can change the number to about 4 if that makes it a little easier at first. But ideally, you're gonna want to start doing 5. And what you're gonna do is, after a while, your final set of the 5 reps, you're gonna be able to do a little more than that. You can start taking it to 6, 7, 8, whatever you want, until eventually you just feel more tired. And then eventually you're going to be able to say, like, okay, well, I could probably do like 7 sets. You could probably do, like, you say, oh, I could do like seven, like five sets of 7. And then that's when you're going to want to start to increase the weight. And then what you're going to notice is, first of all, if you stay on this consistently, that you're going to blow up. Like, you're just going to like get way bigger than you thought you could be. And you're also going to, not only that, you're also going to be progressing in terms of how much weight you're lifting. And it almost an additional benefit of this is that these sets are quite hard. So you're actually actively diminishing that limited belief in both your mind and your body, that hey, I can start to train a little closer to failure, because this is when you can start to actually see like the most amount of gains. This is a great place to start at if you're an intermediate or beginner level. And really, that's about it for that when it comes to cluster sets. That's all I have for you boys.